You mentioned in your opening statement the necessity to stop having Band-Aid solutions and have real change. Are you sensing an appetite from either the President of the Treasury Board or the Minister of Procurement for real change and to bring an end to these Band-Aid solutions?
Mr. Chair, thank you for the question. In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. I think for those who have worked within the system, and I apologize because I've said this at this committee before, but if you look back at historic reviews and audits going back decades, you could change the date on them and they would still be relevant. So that tells me that the existing framework and the recommendations that were made throughout the following 2 decades, have not been sufficient to rectify long-standing issues. So I think we're at the point now when we need to recognize that broader solutions are necessary, so outside of the box thinking, which is why we've taken the approach of saying the analogy, a new car is needed, because this car is asked to do many things, but primarily bring us from point A to point B, and I'm not sure that it's doing that anymore. And given the transactional volume per year, $37 billion, we need a vehicle that's going to work. And it almost doesn't matter who you talk to within the federal procurement system. If they're being honest with you, they will tell you that it's not working.
So then, would you say that this government has taken significant steps to reform the procurement process, or have they simply written new guides and directives with additional rules, or a simplified version of the existing rules?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think, to be honest, all of the above. They have taken steps to simplify the process. They have taken steps, particularly during COVID. I think there was a unique opportunity to work closely with provincial and municipal entities to engage in bulk buying. And I think that created some economic synergies across procurement that I had hoped that would continue beyond the COVID dynamic. There's still work ongoing in that area, and documentation is made available to provincial colleagues so that they can use federal templates. I know there has been significant work on simplification. However, again, the work that's been done is insufficient, and it's not to comment on the intention, but if you pick up a solicitation document, and like I would suggest, I'm a lawyer and I've been in this space for over 20 years. And I find it incredibly cumbersome and difficult sometimes to understand what I'm being asked to look at or do. And I'm someone who should know. And so imagine if you're a small and medium-sized business. The one thing I will say is the inclusion of Procurement Assistance Canada is a significant step in the right direction. They essentially provide the opportunity to work one-on-one with small and medium-sized suppliers and help guide them through the process. But that in and of itself is not simplification. That's an acknowledgement that the system is too complex and you need this additional measure to guide them. But the answer is fix the system.
Well, I think that the term COVID environment is a very gracious depiction of panic and reaction. Thank you for your time here, Mr. Yeglick. Thank you, Chair.